Each nation and culture has its own particular way of doing business, and understanding these is vital if you want to avoid appearing disrespectful, foolish, or even rude. In some cultures, dining is an important way of building business relationships. If you're entertaining business associates over dinner in Japan, you may want to pay particular attention to the seating arrangements. Generally, guests should be seated on the side of the table away from the door. If this means that two parties are sat on opposite sides of the table, the highest ranking person sits in the middle. Remember that nobody sits at the ends of the table. In the Philippines, for example, the power breakfast is common and often takes place in hotel coffee shops. Business lunches are considered casual business meetings, while business dinners or cocktails, considered more intimate, are usually reserved for a more advanced stage in the business relationship. While business lunches or dinners in France can be fairly protracted affairs, sometimes lasting for hours and covering several courses. In the USA, you're likely to be less royally entertained. This is not because you're less valued as a business associate, but merely because Americans prefer the simplicity of dining out on steak and salad, rather than what they see as the tedium of many courses in a French restaurant. If you're doing business in India, you may well receive an invitation to dinner. Indians love showing off their foreign connections to others. You'll be well advised, however, to read between the lines regarding the timing of the invitation. At parties in Indian homes, hosts and hostesses usually do not expect their first guests to arrive for at least half an hour after the stated time. Another area that is fraught with difficulties is that of giving gifts to business associates. In some countries it's accepted. It even facilitates the business process. But in others, be very, very careful. You may land the person you're giving the gift to, and even yourself, in prison. Always note how low a Japanese businessman bows and copy it. The depth of the bow shows the level of respect you hold for each other. Always carry your business card in Hong Kong. A person without a business card here has no status, or is indicating that they don't wish to be acquainted with someone. Always stand to give your business in Japan and Hong Kong, with the right side up, facing the recipient. And finally, if you're invited out for dinner in the Philippines, be prepared to stretch your vocal cords. Karaoke bars are pretty common here, but it doesn't matter if you're tone deaf. Willing participation is far more important than singing prowess. Strangers in the night, exchanging glances, lovers at first sight. Amongst the many cultural queries we get from you each week, this one comes from Natalie, who's a product manager based in Hong Kong. She writes, I recently bought a really expensive gift for one of my local team leaders. He did not seem to appreciate it, and he put it to one side. Could you explain this? You need to understand that most Eastern cultures, including Chinese, are reciprocal. And the reaction of your team leader was one of embarrassment rather than a lack of appreciation. You see, he'd never be able to afford to buy a similar gift for you, thus losing face. So in future, choose your gift with cultural sensitivity, and if necessary, take advice from a local colleague. So once again, if any of you have any cultural queries that you want aired on the show, just email us at fasttracktravel@bbc.co.uk.